Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to our best air purifier competition video for 2023. This year we bought over 30 air purifiers and put them through all kinds of tests. And in this video, I'll go over the results of those tests and pick our favorites in 3 different categories. So, links in the description to everything I'll mention, and let's get started. First, the basics. Almost all air purifiers have a HEPA filter connected to a fan, which processes the dirty air through the HEPA filter, which catches most of the small particles that people want to filter out. But HEPA filters cannot filter smoke or gases. For that, you need some kind of carbon filter, which often takes the form of a filter with little charcoal pieces in it, which absorb smoke and gases. But adding a good carbon filter can be pricey, so you typically only find really good smoke and odor reduction with more expensive air purifiers. We start by measuring their airflow to see how fast they can process air on each of their power settings, as well as their noise level to see how loud they are, where quieter is always better. We then do a fog test where we release a set amount of fog into a ventless room and see how quickly the air purifier can reduce the particles in the room on max power as measured by a particle counter. We also do a VOC smoke test by releasing exact amounts of incense smoke into a sealed refrigerator and measuring how much and how quickly it can reduce the smoke and other volatile organic compounds in a 5-minute test on max power. This is a good way to test their carbon filters to see if they really are good with smoke and gas reduction. We also have a pretty extensive checklist where we take into account all of their special features and give them weighted scores for each one. For example, some models have built-in particle sensors, which can be used to adjust the fan speed automatically depending on how dirty the air is. Some also have lights that change color depending on the air quality. Some have built-in heaters, some have fans, some Dysons have additional sensors for detecting nitrogen dioxide or formaldehyde, and some have real-time graphs on the screen showing alerts and levels and such. We take into account the cost of replacing their filters, things like their cord length and their warranty length, and put all that information into a giant spreadsheet, which then tells us which ones are the best according to our algorithm. At the end of the day, though, this is all just our opinion, and we obviously did not test all the possible air purifiers out there, so take our winners with a grain of salt. Starting off with our budget pick, and here it was almost a tie between the Levoit Core 300 and the Kenmore PM1005, though the Kenmore did win by just a few points. Both of these sell at rock bottom prices, but perform really well, especially if you just need them for a small space. Neither of them have very many features, and neither are all that good for smoke or odor reduction, which is not surprising given their cheap price, but they are excellent for particle filtration for small spaces. The Levoit Core 300 is one of the best-selling air purifiers online, so it's a trusted model that's been around forever and has a ton of happy customers, where the Kenmore is a brand new model. If you need something that has good smoke and odor reduction, you should probably take a look at the next winner on our list, which is the Winix 5500-2, which won the best value category. In many ways, the Winix 5500-2 is the biggest story in this competition. It scored number 8 overall, but it's by far the cheapest on that top 8 list. It really performs like a much more expensive air purifier. It has a surprisingly high quality carbon filter for gases and VOCs, which is not something you typically see in this price range. It's got a lot of features, including a particle counter and air quality indication light, and it just did a much better job than average in our filtration tests. The Winix is also really popular online. It has a ton of reviews, so you can be relatively confident if you decide to pick one up. And that brings us to our best overall pick for 2023, which honestly was a big surprise. Up until a few weeks ago, I would have said that there was no air purifier that could beat the IQ Air GC Multigas or the IQ Air Health Pro Plus for the best overall air purifier category. IQ Air has consistently dominated our scoring system all throughout the months and months of testing that we did for this video. But that all changed a few weeks ago when Dyson released their brand new Big and Quiet formaldehyde model, the most advanced and most expensive Dyson air purifier yet. And while the IQ Airs still did slightly better in the filtration tests, the Dyson Big and Quiet formaldehyde was right on their heels. For example, the Dyson was basically tied with the IQ Air Health Pro Plus in the TVOC smoke tests, and it was pretty close to them in the particle tests too. But the reason the Dyson Big and Quiet formaldehyde ended up beating both IQ airs in the final score and became our best overall pick was because that in addition to the top-of-the-line filtration scores, the Dyson had one of the best scores ever in the features category compared to the IQ Airs, which literally have the two worst scores in this entire competition when it comes to features. For example, the Dyson Big and Quiet has a real-time particle display and VOC display. It also has nitrogen sensors and formaldehyde sensors. It's got data history on the app. It has an adjustable fan which can project air extremely far away. Its filter replacement costs are significantly lower. It's smaller, it looks better, and while it's still super expensive, it's less expensive than the IQ Air Multigas. There's a lot more to talk about with the new Dyson Big and Quiet Formaldehyde, and we will have a review coming out soon, but by the numbers, it's the clear winner for our best overall air purifier of 2023. So to recap, the Kenmore or the Levoit Core 300 for our budget pick, the Winix 5500 for best value, and the Dyson Big and Quiet Formaldehyde for best overall. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching.